One driver showed up at Darlington on Sunday and made the whole NASCAR world stop and pay attention. That driver was Brad Keselowski, and what he did at the Goodyear 400 on the 22nd of March 2026 was the kind of performance that people in the sport do not forget quickly. It was a day that proved something very important. RFK Racing is back, and they mean serious business. Before we get into what happened on Sunday, let's talk about the track itself. Darlington Raceway is not just any racetrack. It is one of the oldest and most respected tracks in all of NASCAR. Drivers have been racing there since 1950. The walls are close, the surface is rough, and the track is shaped in a way that makes it very hard to drive fast without making mistakes. There is a reason drivers call it the track too tough to tame. Darlington punishes drivers who are not careful. It eats through tires very fast. One small mistake can send your car scraping along the wall and leave what NASCAR fans call a Darlington stripe, that long, ugly scratch mark down the side of your car that tells everyone you got too close to the wall. It is a badge of survival, not something you want. To truly dominate at Darlington, you need three things: a fast car, a smart team, and a driver who knows exactly what he is doing. On Sunday, Brad Keselowski had all three. From the very start of the Goodyear 400, Keselowski was a man on a mission. He went straight to the front and stayed there. He did not just lead the race for a little while, he led it for a long time. By the end of the day, Keselowski had led a race-high 142 laps. That means out of all the drivers on the track, no one led more laps than the number 6 Ford. To put that in simple terms, when you lead 142 laps at one of the hardest tracks in NASCAR, you are not just having a good day, you are having a great day. You are in control. And for most of Sunday afternoon, that is exactly where Keselowski was, in complete and total control. Now here is something that made his day even more impressive. NASCAR races are split into sections called stages. Think of them like quarters in a basketball game. At the end of each stage, the drivers who are at the front earn bonus points. Winning a stage is a big deal because those points add up over the course of the season and can make a real difference in the championship standings. Keselowski did not just run well in the stages, he won both of them. Stage 1 went to Keselowski, Stage 2 went to Keselowski, back-to-back, dominant, clean, no drama. Winning both stages at Darlington tells you that the number 6 team was not just fast in short bursts, they were consistently fast for a long stretch of the race. That kind of performance takes real preparation. You do not walk into Darlington and win 2 stages by accident. You earn it. A big part of why Keselowski was so strong on Sunday came down to what was happening on pit road. Pit stops are one of the most important parts of any NASCAR race. When a driver comes in for tires and fuel, every single second matters. A slow stop or a bad strategy call can cost a driver several positions in the blink of an eye. At Darlington, where track position is everything, the RFK Racing crew was nearly perfect. Every stop was fast and clean. Every strategy call was sharp and well-timed. Keselowski came in, got great service from his crew, and went back out on the track without losing ground to the cars behind him. That kind of pit road execution is not easy. It takes practice, focus, and trust between the driver and the team. On Sunday, that trust was on full display. The no. 6 crew gave Keselowski every opportunity to win, and he responded by going right back to the front every single time. Then there was the tire management side of things. This is where Darlington really separates the great drivers from everyone else. Because the track surface is so rough and abrasive, tires wear out very quickly. If a driver pushes too hard too early, the tires start losing grip, the car starts sliding around, and suddenly, drivers who were behind you start catching up very fast. Managing tires at Darlington is a delicate balance. You have to go fast enough to stay out front, but smart enough to not use up your tires before you need them most. Keselowski found that balance beautifully on Sunday. His car stayed stable and fast throughout the long runs. He was not sliding. He was not struggling. He was in control. That is the sign of a driver who has experience and knows how to read his car. Keselowski has been racing at the top level of NASCAR for a very long time. That experience showed clearly at Darlington. For most of the afternoon, the story looked like it was going to be a fairy tale finish for Keselowski and RFK Racing. He was out front. His car was fast. His team was sharp. A win at Darlington felt very close. But then the final stage began, and a familiar name started showing up in the rearview mirror. Tyler Reddick. Reddick, the driver of the number 45 Toyota, started charging hard in the closing laps of the race. Lap after lap, he was getting closer to Keselowski. The gap that had been comfortable started shrinking. Fans watching at home and at the track could feel the tension building. Keselowski had done a tremendous job managing his tires during the race, but Reddick was pushing hard, and his car had good grip in those final laps. With around 25 laps left to go, Reddick made his move. He found a way past Keselowski, grabbed the lead, and pulled away. From that point on, Reddick controlled the race and went on to win the Goodyear 400. Losing the lead that late in a race is a tough pill to swallow. Nobody in racing likes being that close to a win and coming home second. But here is the thing. What Keselowski did on Sunday was still a massive statement. Maybe one of the biggest statements any driver or team has made so far this season. Think about what actually happened. Keselowski led 142 laps. He won both stages. His pit crew was excellent. His tire management was excellent. He ran at the very front of a stacked NASCAR field at one of the most difficult tracks on the entire schedule. That second-place finish was not a disappointment. It was proof that RFK Racing is operating at a level that every other team in the garage needs to pay attention to. The championship conversation in NASCAR changes week by week. Points are earned at every race. Stage wins add up. Finishing positions matter. Consistency over a long season is what separates the contenders from everyone else. Before Sunday, there were still some questions floating around about whether RFK Racing was truly a championship-level team. Could they compete with the biggest and most powerful organizations in NASCAR over a full season? Could the number 6 Ford actually go toe-to-toe with the best cars in the sport? Sunday answered those questions. Loudly. Keselowski pushed himself firmly back into the championship conversation with that second-place run at Darlington. Teams and drivers who may not have been watching the number 6 too closely before are watching now. You do not lead 142 laps at Darlington and nearly win the race without earning the respect of everyone in the sport. Keselowski has been a champion before. He won the Cup Series title back in 2012, and he knows exactly what it takes to build a successful season. Performances like Sunday are the building blocks. They show that the speed is there, the team is ready, and the hunger is real. RFK Racing came to Darlington with something to prove. They left with the entire NASCAR world on notice. Brad Keselowski did not stand in victory lane on Sunday afternoon, but he made a statement that was every bit as powerful as a win. The number 6 Ford is fast, the team is dialed in, and right now, Brad Keselowski is one of the most dangerous drivers in the entire Cup Series.